Hi, and welcome to another episode of Better Golfer Today. I am your host, Tyler Dice, and this show is presented by Tyler Dice Golf. This is episode number 29, and as always, we have a great show planned for y'all today. Today's main topic is going to be on saving one shot on 9 holes. As always, I'll be sharing what I'm working on, and today's tip of the week is on short game. But before we get started, I just wanted to say thanks for tuning in, and I'm happy that you're taking the big step to improving your game by listening to my show. So let's get started. Okay, so today's main topic is on saving one shot on 9 holes. So one shot every 9 holes. That's what we want to do. So that's how to save one shot on 9 holes. That means I'm going to be giving you the information you need so that you can save one shot every 9 holes. All right, so how are we going to do this, right? I'm going to cover a few bases so that I can try and help everyone. So this is be kind of a little bit more of a broader podcast. But again, what I want to do is I want to try and touch base on, tee shots. I want to touch base on approach shots, your short game, and putting. And so that's what I'm going to do. And so no matter where you are with your game, no matter what you struggle with, no matter what you need help with, I'm going to try and cover it in this episode to try and save you that one shot per 9 holes. All right, let's go. So we'll start with tee shots, right? Because every hole starts with a tee shot, right? So the average golfer hits it much shorter and way, way, way less accurate off the tee than your top tier amateurs and pros. You don't have to hit the ball like DJ or Bubba off the tee to play better. What you need to do is keep every tee shot in play. Here's how. Start by using the tee box to your advantage. If you're a righty and you need to hit a fade, use the right side of the box. If you need to work it to the left, i.e. hit a draw, use the left side. If you want to try and hit the ball straight, use the middle of the tee box. That's a little hack that a lot of better players use. You'll see the announcers talk about it every once in a while when the guys tour pros are playing on TV. They'll see, oh, he's on the right side of the tee box. Looks like he's going to try and hit a fade here. Or he's on the left side of the tee box. He's going to try and hit a draw. And then you'll notice when they want to hit them straight, they're right in the middle of the tee box. And that's on purpose. For whatever reason, setting up certain ways in the tee box helps promote a certain ball flight. So that's a very simple, yet pretty effective way to use the tee box to your advantage to try and curve the ball and to try and keep the ball in play a little bit more. Also, and I don't know why more people don't do this, but seriously, stretch before you play. I have no idea why people don't do this. It just mind boggles me. Having that range of motion, having that flexibility goes a long way to using the longest club in your bag that you swing the fastest. Okay, you want that flexibility, you want that range of motion so you can get that club in the right positions. A limited range of motion is going to prevent you from getting that longer shafted club in the right positions during your golf swing. In fact, if you normally have some bad positions, the longer the club is, the worse those positions are going to get in your swing. So you want to make sure that you have the range of motion to get the club in the right positions and for it to feel comfortable while playing. So seriously, stretch. Just stretch. Get some stretches in. Like reach over, touch your toes, stretch out your hips. Get your neck stretched out, your shoulders, and your back. Okay? Seriously, come on. And I'll be honest with you, a lack of stretching is probably one of the biggest reasons most golfers stink off the tee. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I've watched a lot of golfers play. A lot. Most of them, their range of motion sucks. And it's one of the most obvious differences between a top level player and an amateur golfer. Range of motion. So get to stretching. Okay, let's move on to approach shots. So a lot of AMs don't hit very many quality approach shots. Part of this is their game off the tee, and part of it is a lack of consistency with their irons. So consistency is what we're after here. If you can be more consistent, you can hit some better shots and hit more greens. The easiest way to improve your consistency is with your fundamentals. That is your stance, your ball position, grip, posture, and alignment. If you get those right every time, then hitting more greens and getting shots closer to the green will be the result. And I can't stress this enough. Now, everyone has their own unique version of the fundamentals, but the fundamentals are all still there. They're all still the same. Your stance, ball position, grip, posture, and alignment, okay? Not everyone's grip is going to be the same. Not everyone's stance is going to be the same. Most people's ball position and most people's alignment should be the same, but their posture could be different. So essentially the variables here, wild cards are going to be your grip, your posture, and your stance. Okay? Because those three things are kind of a direct result of your kind of body makeup, how your body is, your physique, so to speak. Okay? So those three will change depending on the player. But your ball position and your alignment should be pretty much the same for everyone for the type of shot you're trying to hit. Okay? Or about theirs. I wouldn't read too much into it. But again, you want to be more consistent with your fundamentals. Okay? So the first step would be figuring out where you're supposed to be for your fundamentals. Okay? And then once you figure that out, making sure that you are the same every time. So every time you're trying to hit a straight 7-iron, your stance, ball position, grip, posture, and alignment are the exact same. See what I'm saying? Because if you're trying to hit a straight 7-iron and you're lined up way to the left, what's going to happen? What's going to happen is you're going to hit one straight, it's going to go straight left. You're going to leave the face open, and it's going to fade a little bit to the right and go where you want it to go. You're going to leave the face open, and it's going to go straight where you want it to go. You're going to change your swing path with a square face, and it's going to go straight to where you want it to go. Or you're going to change your swing path with an open face, and the ball's going to start at your target and then fade to the right. Or you're going to double cross yourself, and your face is going to close a little bit, and it's going to start left and then hook. That's what you're looking at here when just your alignment's off. Okay, so we've got a double cross to the left, a straight shot to the left, a block to the right, a fade to the right, a block to the target, and a fade to the target. Okay, so how many of those are good and how many of those are bad, right? Exactly. That's just if your alignment's off. That's how important your fundamentals are. That's how important alignment is. And, the same thing could be said with your stance. If your stance is too narrow or your stance is too wide, you're going to be talking about hitting shots with too steep an attack angle or too shallow of an attack angle. And that's going to throw the golf ball left or right or hit you fat shots or thin shots, skull shots, whatever. And that's just if your stance is off. So again, your fundamentals are very important, and making sure that your fundamentals stay very consistent is a surefire way to making sure your approach shots improve immediately. So even if your fundamentals are bad, if you have an idea of what they should be, and you can get them to line up once per 9 holes, I bet you'll save a shot right there. So just by being aware of your fundamentals and having a good idea of what they're supposed to be can save you a shot on 9 holes. Let's move on to to short game. Short game, also known as scoring shots, to me, I like to call them scoring shots. These are the shots inside 100 yards for me. Maybe for you it's inside like 75 or 50, whatever. Doesn't matter. But for me, scoring shots, aka short game, aka shots inside 100 yards. The best way to improve your scoring shots is with the clock system. Okay? The clock system is a simple and effective way of using reference points in your swing to hit accurate and repeatable shots. I teach the clock system, it works, and it can work for you. If you learn and implement the clock system, you will probably save more than one shot per 9 holes. Just saying. So the clock system is a really, really cool thing. And what it does is it takes your wedges and then it uses different reference points in your swing and different reference points on the club that allow you to hit very accurate, very repeatable shots over and over and over again. Sounds great, right? It also lets you pick up a lot of different quote-unquote stock yardages. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, say, you can pull out your lob wedge and have 9, 12, 15, 18, 22, whatever, different yardages that you can hit with that club without even batting an eye. Now, you may think, oh man, that's a lot of shots. I don't need to know that many. Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't want to know that many. But wouldn't it be nice if you knew 3 per club? Say you had 3 wedges. Say you had 9 stock yardages. What would 9 stock yardages get you in a round of golf? It'd probably get you a freaking birdie around. Is probably what it would do. Okay? Everyone's different. Everyone's golf courses are different. Everyone's style of play is different. But it literally could get you maybe an extra birdie around. Or, if you're a really short hitter like, say, my dad is, it could get you up and down once more per 9 holes. That's nice, right? Or if you hit a bad tee shot and you have to punch out, it could save you a shot. Turn a bogey into a par. Turn a par into a birdie. Then you start getting better. You start realizing, hey, you don't have to go for the green and 2 on a par 5. Or you don't have to hit 3 wood to try and get up there as close as possible to try and give you a chip. You can lay back to 70 yards and stick it in there nice and tight. That's what the clock system does. Again, I teach the clock system. I have an entire program based on the clock system. I use the clock system every single time I play golf. So the last time I played golf was yesterday. Yesterday I shot 35, which is an even par round. I had 3 birdies. One of the birdies was a direct result of the clock system. My stock, one of my yardages with my 60-degree wedge is actually 60 yards. That's the number, 60. I had 56 yards? 56 yards. So I had to take a little bit off a stock 60. No big deal. Hit it to 8 feet, rolled it in for a birdie. That's inside 3 paces, right? 8 feet's inside 3 yards. 3 yards is 9 feet, so 8 feet's inside of that. I'd take that. I didn't hit the greatest shot in the world, but I still hit it to, I needed to hit it, 54, and I hit it 56.7 yards. That's not bad, right? I'd take that. 8 feet. 8 feet's a bad shot. 8 feet for birdie's a bad shot. I'll take that, right? Would you take that? I think you'd take that. That's the clock system. It's a great system. Best system for improving your scoring shots. Highly recommend implementing it. Next, lastly, we talk about putting. The key to making putts is getting the speed and the read right and getting the ball rolling on the correct line. So how do you do that? The best place to start is with your fundamentals. Remember we talked about this with approach shots? Fundamentals is incredibly important with your putting, and they are the exact same as they are for your approach shots. Grip, posture, stance, ball position, alignment. What do these things mean? Well, depending on your body type, that's going to affect your posture. And your style of putting is going to be heavily influenced with your grip. Your ball position should always be either in the middle to slightly forward in your stance. And if your alignment's off, it's actually worse with your putting than it is with your iron shots. Because more often than not, you can, train your body or train your hands or train your swing to do something to make up for bad alignment. I think we are well aware of some of the golfers that play on tour who look like they aim. I'm trying to think of the exact guy that does it. Oh, there's a guy that sets up left. He always aims left and he hits block. Oh, duh. He doesn't play on tour anymore. Lee Trevino, right? Remember Lee Trevino? His alignment was always screwy, but he always hit the ball great. So Lee Trevino would be a guy whose alignment was bad, quote unquote bad, with his approach shots, but still hit the ball good. More often than not, players that have bad alignment with their putting still stink at putting. But your fundamentals are really, really important. And if you want to get consistent with your putting, the best place to start is with your fundamentals. Now, once you have the fundamentals down, you need to focus on reading the green. So on the greens, you have slopes, mounds, you have the green speed, the grain, hills, low points, grass type, wind, rain, moisture, what the time of day it is, yada 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 yada. All this fun data to calculate in your head for a putt that only goes 6 feet. Crazy, right? But it all matters. Putting, like everyone apparently likes to say, putting is an art. And it is an art form because there's so much that goes into it, and that you can be so creative, and there's a lot of leeway with putting. Okay, like that cup is over 4 inches wide. Okay, was it like 4.5 inches wide, right? So you have a ton of leeway to get the ball in the hole, especially when you have breaking putts, right? Because it's a round hole, and so you can get the ball going in the front, the sides, front, center. You can even get the ball to go in from the back. I've seen it done. I've done it. So you have lots of options. So you can be creative with your putting and your reads, right? But again, slopes, mounds, green speed, grain, hills, low points, grass type, time of day, moisture, wind, all that stuff goes into a green read. And then when you get your green read, you have to put it all together and still get the ball started on the right line with the right speed. So putting is a pretty, I guess we could say, complicated process for a stroke that's only like a foot or two on the way back and a foot or two on the way through. It's pretty complicated for how short that stroke is. And it's pretty important too. Putting's definitely important. And so that's all the stuff you need to focus on. And if you can get your fundamentals right with putting, and you learn what you need to pay attention to at your course's home greens, you can be a really good putter, and you can really knock some shots off. So by understanding what your greens do, the speed of them, and how you need to hit putts, goes a long way to figuring out how, goes a long way in helping you shave 1 shot per 9 holes with just your putting. And so that's about all I have for you in the main topic, okay? So again, we covered tee shots, we covered approach shots, we covered your short game, aka scoring shots, aka, for me, shots inside 100 yards. We covered your putting, okay? And those are the 4 big areas. And I guarantee that if you do the things that I talked about in this podcast, and you implement the stuff, and you nail your fundamentals, and you figure out what you need to do on the greens and stuff like that, you'll save a shot per 9 holes. Easy. Guaranteed. And if not, you can have your money back on this podcast. Got it? So, money back guarantee on this podcast. If you do what I tell you and you don't succeed, money back guarantee. This is free, so I can't give you anything back. But you see what I'm saying? Alright, it's a joke. Anyways, let's move on to the tip of the week. This week's tip of the week is on short game. A little bit ago, I was watching a video of Phil Mickelson give out some great information on his approach to chipping. This was really cool. Now, everyone is different, and this isn't the gospel, but hearing it from a guy like Phil typically means it's pretty good info. Phil mentioned that all his chip shots he plays are either in the front or the back of his stance, never in the middle, and his weight is always favoring his lead foot. I tried it today, and it worked out pretty darn well on the one and only time I tried it. If anything, it will help you get a more consistent setup and help you simplify the fundamentals, which is a big deal on short game. So give it a shot. See how you like it. Again, I tried it once today. Worked out great. I'd recommend somebody else try it. Maybe it won't work out good for you, but it worked out good for me. So that's this week's tip of the week. Currently, let's move on to... Let's talk about what I'm working on. Now, I am I'm waiting for our chipping green to be usable again. The overseed from the winter didn't die off like it normally does, and it stunted the Bermuda growth, so the entire chipping area at my course had to be redone. Once it's up and running, I plan on spending a little bit more time on my short game and on bunkers. So, hooray on that one. Don't we love bunkers? Bunkers drive me nuts because I want to practice them, but then if I'm wearing shorts, I just get sand down my shoes the whole time, and in my socks, and on my leg, and it's annoying, right? Everybody have that problem? Anybody else have that problem? I have that problem. But you gotta work on bunkers. So that's what I'm gonna be working on. And that's all we have for you this week. Thanks for tuning in. Now remember, you can connect with me via Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and email. And if you want to learn more about how Tyler Dice Golf can help you do your best scores, contact me via email or social media, and I'll explain how TDG can help you. Thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to you soon, and keep grinding.